three reasons why you're not going to make it. Now, if there's three reasons that are going to be responsible for you making it with an online business, or making it as a writer or a blogger, or whatever it is you're looking to do online, there's three things you're going to have to overcome. And one of the first ones is a 9-to-5 mentality. You know, for a lot of people, they will look at what they do outside work as the exact same as inside work. So what I mean by that is they will look at an hour of their time at home at the same value as an hour of their time at work. So say for example, I am working at my local store, like I used to do when I used to shelf stack, and they used to pay me, I think it was maybe £10 an hour if I was lucky. But it's easy for me to think that because an hour of my time at work is only worth £10, that it is the equivalent at home. And a lot of people don't actually realise that an hour at home is worth far, far more. You know, even though somebody is only paying you an hour, or say £10 for an hour of your life, you imagine if it ever came to you're lying on your deathbed and somebody said to you, I can give you an hour more with your family before you pass over, and it's going to cost a certain amount. Now, I'm sure you would be willing to pay far more than £10 to that person to get an hour of your time back. But as I said, a lot of people will look at a business after work that they're building as only worth £10 of the time, and because of that they'll put as much effort into it as that. But I'm here to tell you that if you are creating something online, whether that is writing, content creation, doing videos or podcasts or whatever it is, an hour of your time is worth far more than that. You know, if we go back to the daily job, when I used to work nights. When I used to give an hour of my time at night time, that was an hour I could never get back. I'd given up a portion of my life for £10 and I was never going to get it back. But if you are creating something for your own business, for example here, the few minutes I'm spending here recording this video, this might seem to some people like a waste of time. Why would you walk around the field for 10 or 15 minutes? You know, it's a total waste of your time. But I'm here to tell you that I can leverage this 15 minutes over and over again. I can take this 15 minutes, I can take it over to YouTube, and I can have this video up on YouTube for the next couple of weeks, months, years. I mightn't even be on the planet anymore, and this video will still be here. People will still be able to view it, people will still be able to get advice out of it. And in the long run, if I maybe put some ads on this, again, it would depend how popular this video was. You would make, of course, more of a revenue on a video that was popular. But even if this video wasn't popular, even only it had a couple of hundred views every year, there would be a trickle of money coming in over time from this 15 minutes that I am giving up. So again, just going back to that thought, that even though it is only 15 minutes of my time, it's 15 minutes that I can leverage over and over again. And what I'm going to do with these videos is I can take this 15-minute video and I can turn it into a podcast episode, so I can put it on iTunes, and again, people can listen to this podcast in the weeks, months and years ahead. And again, if I wanted to, I can take the transcription from this video, and again, I can leverage it again. I can put it as a blog post, I could put it on some popular website, and again, I'm leveraging that 15 minutes over and over again. So that's something you have to consider, as some kind of mindset change you need to get, that in a 9-to-5 job you are only paid for an hour of your time, but offline and in your own business, that hour of your time could be multiplied over and over again. So that's one thing you need to get over, is this kind of 9-to-5 mindset, that an hour of your time is only as valuable as what your boss is willing to pay you right now. Because as I said, if you're lying on your deathbed, I'm sure you would pay far more than £10 to get an hour of time back to spend with your family. Now that's one thing you need to get over if you are going to make it online, is that mindset change. Another thing too you need to get over is giving your best work to somebody else. Now what I mean by that is, a lot of people will race out first thing in the morning, they will go to their job, and then they will give all their effort to that 9-to-5 job, and when they come back in the evening they're totally exhausted, they haven't got much energy, they mightn't have as much time. And when it comes to the thought of maybe doing whatever it is they're looking to do in their online business, whether it is doing some fiction writing or whether it's creating videos or creating podcast episodes, as you can imagine, if you have given your 9 to 5 all your best effort, by the time it comes to the evening time, unless you get a second wind, you're probably going to use any excuse not to do that. I'm too tired, there's something good on TV, or the kids need me for this, and you totally pass up on that opportunity to work on that business. So you're giving your best efforts to somebody else who isn't appreciating it as much as you could be appreciated by using it at home. Now, what you should do is give your best effort to your business and give the other person what's left of your effort. So what I mean is, rather than rushing off to work first thing in the morning, it would be to get up a little bit earlier, when you're freshest, when you're at your most motivated. Again, it depends on what you're like as a morning person. Maybe it takes you a couple of hours to wake up, but as you can imagine, if you wake up from a good night's sleep, you are well rested and you're going to give your best effort. You are going to, put your best content out there, and it's going to pay off in the long run, rather than coming back from work in the evening time when you're not as hot, when you're maybe head's totally fried, whatever job you're doing, or you're just physically exhausted and you just can't do that. And then it's very easy just to push off your other income or whatever that second business is that you want to create, because you're just not as fired up as you were at the start of the day. So think about that, maybe giving more of your time first to your business, maybe changing your hours, or getting up early in the morning, getting up maybe an hour or two, writing your pages when you're fresh, recording your videos when you're fresh, just like I'm doing here at the moment. This is the first thing I do every morning, is to create these videos. And by me creating these videos right now, if later on in the day some drama comes up, some emergency or something comes up that is going to take all of my attention and all my time, at least I have my 2 videos done. And it's a great inspiring thing too, by having your work done first thing in the morning. It motivates you in the rest of the day, knowing that something positive has been done today, rather than thinking to yourself at work later on, I need to get started, and you have this kind of dread at the back of your mind, and if you don't do it, then you're going to feel guilty because you're pushing the work maybe into another day, if it's ever going to be done. So by doing it first thing in the morning, not only do you get your work done and dusted, any dramas that come up later on, they're okay, they are sorted, and you have your work done for the day. So in a few minutes now, I'll have these 2 videos done. It's not even 9 o'clock in the morning here, and my work is done with these. So getting those out of the way first thing in the morning is fantastic. Now, the last thing you need to get over is, you need to, for a lot of people, when they are working for an offline business or working for a boss, some people unfortunately would be their own worst employees and their own worst bosses. Now, what I mean by that is, how many times have we worked in a business and you are working away, but there's always some fella that's always clowning around, who isn't doing the work, who isn't picking up the slack, and it's only when the supervisor comes in the door that suddenly they spring into activity and they start working as if they're the best employee ever. So for those people, creating an online business or creating any kind of secondary business is a total waste of time, because they need eyeballs on them all the time to keep them going. They need somebody over them bossing them, and the fact is, if they try to create a secondary income, they'd never get anything done, because they would be making coffee one minute, they'd be on Facebook the next minute, they'd be chatting to somebody another minute, they'd be switching on the TV, and the hours would just fly by and they would get nothing done. So that is one thing you need to, a thought you need to take on is, if you aren't being successful or you aren't getting anything done, it's probably because you are your worst employee. If you were a business that hired you, would you think you were getting value for money by hiring you? Would you want to keep you on for long, or would you get rid of you after a couple of weeks? So think about that. And again, if you are thinking to yourself, well, I suppose I am a decent employee, I do the work, but maybe you are somebody who let yourself off at the first opportunity. You say to yourself, well, I did an hour's work this past 2 or 3 days, I don't need to work today, I'll take the day off. or I'll go easy on myself today. That deadline I had said I was going to do a couple of weeks ago, let's just push it back a little bit further, rather than actually knuckling down and forcing yourself to work to deadlines or to keep your butt in the seat, or whatever it is that you need to do. So think about that. If you aren't being successful, again, this isn't for everybody. Not everybody can have an online business or can make it as a writer or a blogger or content creator, podcaster or whatever, because of those reasons. They don't see their time as more valuable than what their boss is paying them at work. They're their own worst employee and their own worst boss, and they're giving everybody else their best effort, their best energy, and when it comes to doing their own stuff, they're totally exhausted, or they don't feel motivated to do it because they're just totally burnt out from their day job. So think about that. If you are having problems or you just can't seem to be getting anywhere, it could be one of those 3 reasons, and maybe you might need to take a change, or maybe come to realise that this isn't for you. Maybe you're not the type of person who can boss yourself, that you do need to work for a boss, or maybe you haven't got what it takes, you're not willing to put the effort, you're not willing to get up early. That's fair enough. Make that decision right now, rather than kidding yourself thinking in the future that you are going to make it, because unfortunately, as I said, it's not for everybody. So if you like this video and you'd like to know more about me, you're very welcome to come over to writecom.com. That's WRITECOME.com, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, if you'd like to ask me a question or you'd like to reach out, you're very welcome to send an email to barryjmcdonald@gmail.com, and that is my own personal email, so I will respond to you if you ask me a question, or if you'd like me maybe to cover something in an upcoming video, or some feedback or something like that. So as always, thanks for sharing your time with me again today, and take care and have a great day. Bye bye.